Okay, let's get started with this process by looking at the Q3 for the AP English Lit exam. We're not really going to go through writing the process, but I want to look at the questions and how to interpret them and how to answer them. So here's a sample question. It's a Q3 from 2013. And let's look at the prompt. It says, a Bildungsroman, or coming-of-age novel, recounts the psychological or moral development of its protagonist from youth to maturity, when this character recognizes his or her place in the world. Select a single, pivotal moment in the psychological or moral development of the protagonist of a Bildungsroman, and then write a well-organized essay that analyzes how that single moment shapes the meaning of the work as a whole. You can choose from the list below, or one of comparable literary merit. Do not merely summarize the plot. So let's look at the important components. It's Q3. It's the novel essay. Now, what we've got here is a couple of bits of information that I think are interesting. First thing, let's look at the blue lines. The blue lines actually tell us what a Bildungsroman is. They know that terminology, while it is something that you may have come across in the past, it may be something confusing. As you can see, College Board's not out to stump you here. They want you to be able to write this essay. So they tell you, this is what a Bildungsroman is. This is knowledge and information you're going to need to be able to proceed forward, and there's no excuse for not being able to write to this prompt now. Select a single pivotal moment in the psychological or moral development of the protagonist of a Bildungsroman. So you're going to pick a book where one single character has a coming-of-age moment. He has an epiphany, an awakening, if you will, at one particular section of the text, and that one section, that one moment of awakening, changes in all the development, changes up the entire structure, changes up the history and meaning of the work as a whole. Suddenly it takes something that's corrupt and evil and bad and makes it possibly good and all, makes the past justifiable, while promoting a positive future. Perhaps it, is the moment in all of epiphany and all that the person comes into themselves and all and knows where they fit in the world and they can journey forward in their path happy. There are a lot of different options with this. You're going to write an essay, though, that focuses on how one single moment in the work, that moment of epiphany, changes everything. You may choose a work from the list that they'll give you, or one of comparable merit. This is not a trap. If you can't think of a book from the list they've given you that works, use this one. They give you the list of books just in case, hey, I can't think of something. You look through the list and go, aha, that's the book I'm going to use. Requirements. You must write a paper analyzing the assigned theme as it exists within the novel you selected. You have to answer the question about the theme. It's not a plot summary. If I read about what one character does at one moment or one time or the other, and it basically flows like a plot after two sentences, that's a 0. That's not an analysis, that's plot, and nobody cares about that. We're not interested in whether or not we have every minute detail about the book. We want you to answer the question. So answer the question. Structure hasn't changed. Your structure will be an argument, text evidence, how and why. So in this case, your argument would be that this one particular moment that you've identified is the pivotal moment that allowed the character to be awakened into their full potential. You're going to look at how that one moment, and you're going to probably make the argument that it's impacted the text in this way, that way, or the other way. Text evidence is proof of how it has impacted the text in one way or the other. You're going to discuss how that impact is perceived, how it's carried out, and why. Why might the author want to do this? And you're going to do it 3 times over in different sections of the text where you analyze the theme and you answer and prove and show how the information they want can be perceived from the story that you've read. You'll have 3 paragraphs. This means there'll be about 1/2 to 3/4 of a page in length for each and every paragraph. The longer is always better in this case, as long as you're on point and writing what you need to. You have to answer the question or you'll get a 0. My big selection is going to be to go to the College Board website, look at the AP English Lit essay options and all that they have present there, and make certain you're familiar with the wide array of topics and all that they can ask and all on the Q3. If you cover and look at the good chunk of them and all that have existed in the past, chances are you'll go into the AP exam, and I'll almost guarantee you'll see one of them again. And that's the video.